Hello soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How you all doing? So in this video I'm going to be showing us the sewing process of this beautiful style. So I'm going to be taking us the step-by-step process how to go about it. So if this is something you would like, please stay tuned. So now let's get right into it. So here with me is the drafted pattern that we drafted. So I'm going to drop a link in the description box to show you how we drafted this pattern. So now remember that by this side where you can have that your rope or whatever, by the side I came down by 1 inch. So by the other side I didn't come down by 1 inch. So should in case maybe you want to come down by 1 inch, if you feel that the hammer might be too tight, just fold in your pattern this way. Fold it this way, just the way I'm folding it. Then you just like cut that excess off. So that excess you are cutting off is for the other side, which is the full armhole, while the other side is not a full armhole. So this is just an alteration. This is just an alteration. So now let's get right into the business of the day. For the materials you'll be needing, I have like 2 yards of crepe fabric. This crepe fabric is very stretchy, it's very stretchy. So I have a zipper, I have the pattern paper, your chalk, your scissors, your tape rule, your sewing machine. So these are like the materials you'll be needing for the success of this style. So these are what you are going to be needing. So there's still another alteration again. So in this pattern paper, remember that there was dart. I stated that if you want to use a dart, you can use a dart. If you don't want to use a dart, it depends on your choice. So now I'm going to go ahead and draft out this cut out this style without the dart. So I already indicated that dart line, that this line that I have here is the elimination of the dart intake that I used from the beginning of this video, from the beginning of the last video. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the dart. So that's the dart, that's the elimination of the dart that I already imputed right from the start of drafting this pattern. So I'm going to eliminate. So the dart has been eliminated. So I'm going to be using this pattern to cut out both the front and the back. So I already have right side facing right side of the fabric. So now the pattern paper is on it. So there are about 2 layers of fabric beneath the pattern paper. So this is what we have for it. So now because of the length I used from the tutorial, from the drafting this particular style, I had about 34 inches. So I felt it's going to be too short. So I just added about 4 inches to it, plus the sewing at the hem line. So that's 1 inch for sewing. So this is the length that I'm working with. Let's say I'm working with 37 inches or 37 inches. So if you look at this pattern closely, you'll notice that the dart has been eliminated. I've eliminated the dart. So by the side, so should in case you want ease for yourself, so by the 2 sides you can just add, like your sewing allowance is 1 inch, then 0.25 for ease. So in total what you'll be adding on both sides will be 1.25. so that 0.25 will be for ease, then the 1 inch will be for the sewing allowance, should in case you want a little bit of ease for yourself. So that is what I added by this side. So by the shoulder, but here at that point I added 0.5 inches all across the arm, 0.5 inches, the neckline, the shoulder, I added 0.5 inches to that part. So next up, this strap. So now this is what you are going to be joining around the armhole at that point. So now whatever that you have used for the width, you take note of it. Probably you use 2 inches, 1.5, 3 inches, whatever you use, you take note of it. So now I think I used about 1.5 inches, but I extended it to 2 inches. So I extended it to 2 inches. So now in this case, now I'm joining the strap together. I'm not cutting the whole fabric. Do you understand? I'm not cutting it all together with the strap. So I'm joining the strap by the side. So now for the width of this strap, I have about 5 inches. And for the length, I had about 40 inches. So 40 inches might be too long for you. So you might just go with 30 inches. Depending on what you want for yourself. So I have about two pieces of this fabric for the, let's say for the strap, yes, that I'll be joining by the armhole side. So next up, we're going to be taking off the pins. So because we're going to go ahead and sew. So we're going to be taking off the pins. So I'm going to be using bias for the neckline and the armor. So I'm not using an interface, so I'm going to be using a bias of the same color. So I'm going to be sewing 0.5 inch for the shoulder. I'll be sewing 0.5 inch for the shoulder, and I'll be sewing around the neckline, the armor with the bias. So now this strap, you're also going to go ahead and sew the strap. So now at the tip of the strap, I don't want it to be like to be straight, so I'm just going to cut it slanted this way, just as you can see. So I'm also going to go ahead and sew the strap all the way straight down by 0.5 inch. So this is what I have for the toe strap, as you can see, and I have also ironed it out. You make sure that you iron press it neatly. So this is what we have. So next up now is to show you what the upper part looks like. So I've joined this by the shoulder already. So now this is how you are going to be placing your bias. So you are going to be placing your bias just this way. It's going to be on the right side, then you top stitch it on the wrong side. So should in case you are putting this way, so you are going to be putting your rope on the right side, then the bias on the right side, then you sew, then you flip it to the other side, to the wrong side, then you top stitch it. You are going to top stitch. Also, you are going to be sewing around the neckline with the bias, then the two armholes. You are going to be using the bias to sew. So next up is, so I've gone ahead to sew the neckline. So this is the one part of the armhole that has the rope. So this is where it looks like after using the bias. So next up is, I'm going to go ahead and top stitch on it on the wrong side. I'm going to go ahead and top stitch on the wrong side. So next up, I'm going to be showing you what the finished process of that upper part looks like. So this is what it looks like after sewing the neckline round with the rope and also the armholes. This is what it looks like. So you iron press it. So now I'm going to fold it to the wrong side. So I'm folding it to the wrong side so that we can go ahead and sew, join it by this side with the seam allowance that you might have added. So you are going to mark out your measurement. So this is what I have. By the time I was done sewing, I didn't add a zipper again because the fabric was stretchy. I didn't add a zipper, so it was easy to wear. So should in case yours is not easy to wear, I would suggest you add a zipper by the side. So now this is what it looks like. So at that point I'm molding, you had your zipper around that part. That's where where you have the half armhole. So you had your zipper. So next up is to stitch it at the bottom. That's the hemline. So I'm stitching it by 1 inch. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So after stitching, this is what it looks like. So now anywhere you have a curvy part on your fabric or your dress, make sure that you notch it so that your dress can relax well. So now this is the final look of this style. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. It looks beautiful and I like it. And I also like it in the color that I chose. Guys, if this is something you like, don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, comment, like and share. So thank you guys for watching.